Recording in progress. Okay, guys. Welcome back. And yeah, welcome back to K8GB IO community meetings. I hope you hear me and yeah, see me well, and everybody else. So I think, yeah, we didn't fix our limitations, so should be kind of short and concise and mind the time we have. I hope everybody has an agenda opened. If not, please tell me. And yeah, I'll just probably briefly want to go through the action points, and then we can continue with the agenda. Please feel free to update it. I think Michal, you want to discuss some of the open issues. So yeah, please do add them there. So meanwhile, we had contact CNCF for K8GB office hours on KubeCon. Yeah, I checked actually with support. Somehow we were out of the communication loop, and they kind of said they looks like they did some updates and we've been added. Some. But unfortunately, yeah, we missed the opportunity to do the project office hours this time. I hope we just need to check for KubeCon North America and probably act upfront. So let them know that we would like to plan for them, and I think they're already kind of open for registration, so we should we have chance to check. So review CNCF annual talk you state for K8GB project. Yeah, I guess we submitted the PR. Thanks a lot, Yuri, for helping on that. I think Yuri also made some text amendments and so on. So we probably can contact them to see what's the procedure, how we proceed with that.
Yeah, it's still open, but I've checked the other PRs if this topic are also open. So well, we did our part. So
okay. Yeah, milestone assignment. Yeah, to be honest, I didn't. With all that KubeCon stuff and so on, I didn't have time for that. Contact CNCF support for Zoom call extension. That's still on me. Still going to contact and check what are the options they do provide. If not, probably we'll ask. I don't know. Some sponsoring. Okay. What else? I guess that's it for action items. And current agenda is I just added new IDs from KubeCon. And yeah, K8GB plus OpenTelemetry demo from Easy, and the discussion of, I guess, round robin tasks.
Or I think I've just tried to share my screen and it says the host disabled participate screening. So I'm not sure about the demo actually.
Let me check. Security enable share screen. I enabled it. I'm not sure why, because interesting. You should be hosts as well. Need to fix it. Cool. I guess that's it. So let's maybe start with briefly with OpenTelemetry demo and K8GB, and then we discuss the.
Yeah, sure, I can. So I'll share my screen. Probably stop the video. Can you see my screen? Now I'm looking in agenda. Okay. So I'll deploy everything from scratch. So I'll create some cluster. So what I did is adding the open telemetry for K8GB, the first shot. I was playing with Captain, so let me check. I'll create cluster called Hello2 with everything disabled. And I tweaked the Helm charts to be able to deploy also open telemetry container together with K8GB. Actually, I will start with some diagram, or I'll start with the Helm, but I will show you the diagram of everything it's connected together. So these two are new, tracing enabled equals true, and optionally it can also deploy a Jaeger as a backend for these spans where it can be shown to the end user. So I'll show you how everything is glued together. Well, I was working with open tracing like 2 years ago, and it changed since then because this open telemetry standard or umbrella organization was introduced. Now it incorporates those metrics, open tracing, and logs. So like if you do Prometheus metrics, it's also part of the standard. But mostly if people are talking about open telemetry, they are talking about tracing. So that's the diagram. They introduced some intermediate actor in the picture called hotel collector, with the idea that this thing can work as a funnel, so it can fund the trace to multiple vendors. So not only one vendor needs to be supplied or like connected to your application, but with this auto collector, you can send it to multiple backends. And in our deployment, what I've done is I deployed this guy as a sidecar container for K8GB operator, so that it would be on the same host or same pod, and it can talk to it while all closed. So, I haven't run the command. So if I do this, and namespace. I'll probably increase my font, right? So now the containers are creating. Okay, I guess I need to also import the image to the correct cluster, because I had to instrument the code. With Golang, you don't have to, or you don't have an option to like attach an agent which will instrument everything automatically. So I had to change our code and start those spans programmatically in our code. Currently, I'm creating only like two spans. Yeah, so it's running. You can notice that now we have 2 containers in K8GB, not just one. If I show you the logs, and now it asks about the container. Right, so for auto container now, the connection was failed. I need to figure out how to do it properly, because if the Jaeger is not running yet and this guy starts first, it has this connection failure. So what I'm doing as a hotfix, I just restart the container and that works. But there needs to be some logic for waiting. I need to work on this. Yeah, namespace. Now it should be fine, I think. Yeah, there is a way to specify the default container. I will do it later. Yeah, now it's ready. So it's connected. There's the hotel collector, and it's connecting to a Jaeger, which is also lives in this namespace. If I port forward the Jaeger, yeah, this guy. No services Jaeger collector. Correct namespace. And visit it from a website. Cool. I've got the Jaeger, but no spans available in here. That's because I haven't done any user interactions with the operator, and I haven't created any spans. So to do that, I need to create a custom resource because that's the only way we interface with our operator. So I'm doing that. Okay, namespace is not there. I've created a new GSLB resource. One is probably small. And now if I hit refresh, I can see a new service was registered, and I can find traces from K8GB. And this is the demo trace I've just created. So there are 3 spans. They are kind of hierarchical. This is the parent span, and it contains the span from that was created when calling the GSL get DNS endpoints. Then we do some things on that, sync it with our current state, and save it back. So we can see that this took 80 milliseconds, and this took only 8 milliseconds. By default, it's well, when the tracing is enabled, it stores all the spans, but there is also a support. I can show you. Yeah, for something called sampling ratio, which can be specified as a float, and say you've got 0.05. It would mean that only 5% of those traces will be sent to a Jaeger for this analyzed. That's useful when you don't have to want to have huge overhead when doing the tracing. That is the change to Helm charts basically. And code-wise, which again is that's the part that's basically starting the. Oh no, I've created a class where when I'm setting up the tracing and everything, but in code itself it looks like this. You first have to start the span, and then end it. That's it. Yeah, that's my demo. Stop sharing.
Yeah, looks awesome. I wonder, yeah, so especially if I deal with external DNS, right? That's one thing, but also if we have custom implementations like info blocks and so on, I guess it will be really useful too.
Hard part here is the context propagation, because the normal way of doing this is introducing those keys to a header for HTTP calls. But in our case, we are creating the custom resources, right? So one way would be to introduce another data field in our custom resource, which is awful, or have some REST API endpoint, but it's also not ideal. Nice thing is that the Golang API provides a way to automatically extract the context. So provided somebody called us, which is not happening at the moment, and he has provided the correct headers, there is those context propagators can automatically defer or infer the context. That's nice, but it would make more sense if we have REST endpoint, right?
Yeah, still it would be interesting. If you think about the external DNS and you think about this flow, right? And if ideally external DNS supports that tracing mechanism, we can it only makes sense if we have some kind of context propagation, so we can see that this is our code. I guess core DNS doesn't make sense. It's just resolution part, and and if I'm not mistaken, they have it, but it will be kind of completely different tracing flow, right?
Or do they have it? I think it's not there. They don't have.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I've been on that core DNS in KubeCon.
Yeah, sorry, core DNS. I was thinking external DNS. Okay.
Yeah, external DNS. Yeah, it will be interesting if they have it or not, if they support it. Cool. Thanks a lot. And I guess so. Next.
About it. Yeah, let's just segue to the next topic or the audience for KubeCon. I was also thinking about like integration with Captain, and the open tracing can make sense in here, because I'll share like how I envision the the nice integration with Captain, because I was looking into it when we were on this cloud events, sitecom, and it's a way to like orchestrate those cloud events, like monitor the full life cycle of our application. And one of their cool features is the something like health healing or self-healing or remediation of errors. And what they do is actually, do you have a lot of time? It will take like 3 minutes, I guess. We have 30 minutes, right?
Yeah,
or an hour.
we have like 40 minutes, I think. 40.
Okay, so I'll do it really quick. Sorry. So yeah, they support. Where is it? Yeah, this is the format how it looks like. So they've got it's like event-based system, and they react on those cloud events. And for instance, they can provide a self-healing feature that can scale up a replica set by one. So I was thinking that, and it's based on these SLI and SLO. So it's like user-defined metrics that can trigger events. The example of this is something like here. So it's like PromQL query that can tell like after, or like if the last 5 minutes there was a like huge increase of latency for our endpoints, then do something. And then the do part can be customized with these action providers. So I was thinking that we can proactively do the load balancing based on these metrics, like not only reactively when the pod has crashed and there is 0 replicas of our application, and only then do the switch. We could be like smarter and go, like if you are part of this Captain picture, we can do this easily based on these PromQL metricas, which are user defined. It would be like nice integration for us.
It's like still kind of the Kubernetes native, right?
Yes, exactly. It's CNCF project.
But allows like more complex, scenarios.
Yeah, it's really complex. Like if you install Captain itself, it's like 10 pods. So it will be, but the nice part is that these custom action providers don't have to be part of our K8GB itself. It can be like standalone repo. Mm-hmm. But the hard part is to basically do it on our end, like how to tackle it, because we control our stuff by modifying the custom resources. Yeah, I think they support like multi-cluster setup with control plane and execution plane. So provided but we are different, right? We are like peer-to-peer network with no single point of failure. But if we are deployed together with Captain, this execution plane can work as a thing that will tell K8GB basically switch the failover modes to different cluster. So it's doable. Yeah, it will be like killer feature, I think, and it will be more visible. Probably get more adapters because this is it has a huge momentum, this Captain, I think.
I guess, yeah, interesting thing to look at. So, yeah, I guess.
Stop sharing screen.
We have I think the agenda items proposed by Michael about the round-robin issues closed and the consistent hashing.
Hey guys, I'd like to tell you about the state of what's going on within the round-robin steps. Wait a second, here is my screen. Yeah. Here is the round-robin task or issue, here is the round-robin issue, and basically the point was that we will make round-robin like IP by IP. So I implemented that as a core DNS, as a new core DNS plugin, and made a PR. And basically, during the PR, I was talking with the core DNS guy, and basically the main question is why we need to have like a predictable round robin. I mean, going like 10, 11, 12, and then rotate it, and again 10, 11, 12. Because I found out that except like some demo, nobody needs such feature. There is already implemented a random round robin, which is very simple and working easily. I made some tests and tested their round robin and check like 1 million, 10 million requests and check if it is balanced well, and it is very well balanced. You know, if I need to balance like between 16 different addresses, it's on the random round robin balance them very equally. So based on that, I closed this task, and also I had to close the PR because first of all, they don't want such functionality, and the second is that there is no reason for that. And second reason for the closing was that whatever balance, if I'm going the predictable way, I need to still somehow working with the state. I need to somehow remember the like a previous state, and doesn't matter if this state exists on the client or whatever on the server, which makes in some cases, like it is for instance on the server or within the DNS server, then there is the problem with the scaling, you know, which complicates that, you know. So basically have to say that standard round robin, the random round robin as they have it, is the solution for that. Then the second thing regarding random round robin is that the random round robin just you know, you send the request and the request is moved on the left or on the right, you know, and you are sending request by request, and it goes left or it goes to the right. The problem is if, let's say, on the like level 7 applications, they may have some open sessions, they have open connections, they have something cached within the memory. And if you do the round robin this way, basically it still opens like a new resources on the target servers, you know, because they don't know about each other. So the way how this is usually solved is use the consistent hashing, which, let's say, computer A or client A always transfer on the server X, and client B is always transferred on the server in Y, you know. So it is the consistent way how to do the balance. It's not about the requests, it is about the connections. And this is what the consistent hashing basically solving, because this algorithm solves that client A goes always to, let's say, server A, server X, but also if some server is dropped or some server is added, it affects the minimum number of clients. It doesn't affect all a range of clients, but just the minimum one, just the affected. So the consistent hashing is a different task. Here it is: investigate consistent hashing to enable creation of other advanced GSRB strategies. Regarding my discussions with the core DNS guy, he told me that they are not, let's say, interesting in it because it should go to some external load balancer. It's not in their responsibility. So what we can do, we can implement it as something which is called external plugin, which is our KGB CRD plugin. And it is like a standard core DNS plugin. It's just wrapper around that. Dinar already create a project for that, so I can implement it there. But this will be like a third kind of strategy. Round robin stay as it is because it's random round robin. Failover stays as it is, and this one is the third one. Is the consistent hashing.
The fourth one. We have a GeoIP.
Yeah, sorry, Dinar. Very sorry. Yeah, the fourth one definitely is the fourth one.
And what about weighted round robin? I think we also have this topic.
Basically, the weighted round robin is, let's say, the simple consistent hashing is subset of weighted round robin, which basically I can do weighted stuff on consistent hashing can be easily or not easily, but it can be extended to weighted way. Regarding round robin, well, it is somehow like this is something I cannot answer now, you know, because this will require like I didn't start to work on that, you know, so I don't just give you some fast answers without just thinking deeply about it. You know, but regarding consistent hashing, it can be basically the consistent hashing algorithm itself is extensible to weighted way. You know, it is possible.
Cool. Yeah, I guess then, yeah, let's continue on this and see how it works with that plugin. I wonder if we I guess use one plugin and we can kind of can make it configurable, so we can have some kind of like flags for features we want to support to turn off. I guess we because like when we add something in advance, I guess we need to make it switchable, so that the people that are utilizing this coordinates plugin have chance to to slam it down and not having like all the options there. Because like you need to compile with I guess you cannot just add the plugin. You have to compile coordinates with all the plugins. But I wonder if you can make them kind of switchable. Cool. I guess we have like 7 minutes left. Just checking what else we have to be discussed. Yeah, I guess like some news and ideas from KeepCon. Just briefly, it was I guess really interesting, time consuming, and how to say, quite overwhelming. Like for me, I was like, I think first time attending it like on site. We've like made like several contacts with different people, and really what was interesting, I mean, this booth, CNCF booth with big kudos to CNCF for making those stickers for nearly all these of CNCF projects. And like we were happy that we had the opportunity to grab the stickers and share them, and like we were able to to tell them, hey, I'm not only from APSA core, but I'm actually from KGB project. So lots of interesting talks came out of there. Unfortunately it was like full, right? So you can see like from distribution of how like many stickers were grabbed out of these shelves, like how big is the interest. So I guess we have like a long road to go, right, to be really like renowned. And but yeah, I think baby steps. And some of the like interesting ideas is, as Easy mentioned, for example, the integration with Captain. I'm also like met few folks. One of them was from Linode, right? And they were saying basically that kind of we are doing it wrong, right? We are trying to ask for some, permission to use the cloud or like providers, right? To check if we work with them, but I guess it can be something like, seal of approval program, so that we can actually test that K8GB works with certain cloud provider and with or like DNS server. So we can kind of like a test and put like, green check mark. And with this, we might also kind of have like mutual agreement to get some test accounts, right? Like thinking about GCP, thinking about Azure, thinking about, Linode or whoever. So it might kind of work mutually. And yeah. So there, and again, I think as like for plans, we have some, it looks like we are being tested by some of the companies, right? Some of them, like by the nature of like, or how this information has been like spreading, some of them are like financial institutions, and these are usually kind of really sensitive about publicly sharing the information that they're actually using our project. So yes, and this is why we're still on kind of on sandbox state. So in order to get into incubation, we need to really like get more official confirmation that we are actually being utilized by other companies. So I think it makes sense to prepare something like, how to say, use case examples, right? And some testimonials on our maybe like websites, so we can integrate such things. Yeah, I guess, I don't know, like Easy, you probably can add something.
Yeah, well, for me, it was the Captain thing and probably also the gateway API that it's already a thing and people were enthusiastic about it, and like those traffic and Contour start to implement those APIs. So probably we should also do our part and implement it as well. Yeah.
So definitely, yeah, there were some integrators, I think it's like from Germany, folks that also expressed like as soon as they kind of realize what it's all about, they basically tell you, hey guys, just please be ready, we'll reach out because we have some cases, and exactly yeah, like we will reach out to you. But I guess like it's interesting, and I guess most of them are working with some financial institutions or like big corps. I guess this is where exactly this kind of disaster recovery case and like high availability is like really like, important. Cool. Yeah, I guess like I don't know if we have anything else.
And also I've created that issue with like for another demo app that came from the Contour guys. So that we don't have only plugin for there. It's probably relatively low hanging fruit. I can do that next week if you want it.
Yeah, and yeah, it seems like from what we've seen from our kind of users, like future users, there some of, like I've noticed some of their use cases there involving like private DNS, like Route 53, which is interesting. So I guess yeah, it will be good to like at least to have that the deployment of external core DNS with the plugin and document this case, so that from infrastructure point of view we can tell them how this workaround like works. Yeah, something to do there. Yeah, I guess that's it. from us.
It says less than a minute. I think we will be violently ended in
Yeah,
a
like
couple of
ended.
seconds.
But bye guys. and
Okay, have fun.
have fun too, and see you around on internet.
Yeah.
Cheers.
See you. Bye
Ciao.
bye.